Well, it's unbelievable to think that we've been here for 50 years and that we're celebrating a half century of time. As I reflect back on our humble beginnings, it's just amazing to me to watch the transformation of the company, the things we've done, and the people. I mean, if you look back to 1973 through 1984, Barron was simply a service organization. We didn't have a product of our own. We were engineers and manufacturers providing services to other customers. And we literally only served the geography from basically Milwaukee, Wisconsin down to Chicago and that little pocket of customers. We probably had, if I had to guess, 50 ongoing customers that we would service. And what we did at that point is we would go out and look for people who needed help manufacturing stuff. So the example I give sometimes is that if someone had the idea for the next margarita machine, they could bring that into a Barron and say, hey, this is my idea. And Barron would ask the question, look at my menu. Do you want us to engineer this item? Do you want us to manufacture this item? Do you want us to inventory this item? And you can pick a la carte approach to the way that Barron could service your need. In most cases, we were blessed with the fact that it usually started with something very simple and then evolved into tremendous relationships, which is really the core of this organization, is the customer-centric mentality, the listening to the customer, and working with our customer base to understand the need and then offer solutions that hopefully make sense to what that end game is.
There's so much that makes me proud of this company. The team is the obvious answer for me. There are so many people that show up here every single day wanting to do the best they can for Barron. They are always looking to improve something. They are excited to share their ideas and innovation. And that just makes me really proud because we're always going to look for new products or have a new promo. Those things just go without saying, but it's the team that makes those things happen. It's the team that comes up with those ideas. So we have a lot of hustlers. We have a lot of people that just really want to see the company do well. That makes me really proud to be a part of it.
I think personally, I feel the biggest accomplishments are the people that are here and the people that have come through here, and knowing what they did, how they grew while they were here, how they contributed, and if they moved on, that they're still successful and still contributing. I think that's something that makes you feel good. And again, it's about the people. This is a business, and people make decisions for whatever reasons. There's never hard feelings, but you like to see them be successful. I think that seeing people develop while they're here and going on to bigger and better things is one of the things that really makes you proud to know that you were a part of that, or at least the company was part of that, their journey. So that's what it is. The excitement's the journey. Once you get it to the destination, it's not as exciting anymore. So I always tell people, enjoy the journey while you can. And to watch people do that is probably the thing that's most satisfying. I think the company, one of the biggest accomplishments for the company is to continue to launch more brands and continue to develop more product to make sure that we stay as part of an important part of our industry. That we stay relevant in our industry, and the willingness of the company to spend the money on R&D that we do, to have the engineering team that we do. It really makes you proud because we're truly a true design manufacturing company. And it's something to be proud of, and it gets us into opportunities that some other companies may never see. So I think that's from the company's perspective, continuous improvement in design and development of new products is something we're really proud of.
My name is Edwina Romo, and I am the Purchasing and Supply Chain Manager here at Barron Lighting. I read the job post for Barron, and it made me excited to apply for Barron because the family culture that it talked about in the job posting and just what the life at Barron was like, I was excited to apply and hope to join a team like that. Work culture is something that's very important to me, and throughout my career I have worked at places where you weren't really appreciated or treated like family, so I was excited to get back to a company that really valued their employees, knew their names, knew their kids' names, and really just appreciated you working here. So when I joined Barron, everybody was extremely nice, and I was wondering, is it just because I'm new everyone's being nice to me? But being here over a year, I have found that's still the same as I walk through the door every day. There's some friendships here that are formed, relationships with your coworkers, and it's really just makes you happy to come to work because you're working with a group of people that you enjoy spending time with.
Mi nombre es Lourdes Hernández y pues desde que empecé estoy en producción, trabajando en producción en ensamblado. Me hicieron una invitación, el peer writer, me hizo una invitación y la pensé poquito y pues dije voy a hacer un cambio. Y pues me gustó y aquí estoy. Mi parte favorita, pues mi trabajo. Es mi parte favorita porque me gusta todo lo que hago. Me encanta todo el tiempo estar haciendo cosas diferentes.
My name is Oscar Hernandez. I'm a receiving clerk. I've also helped out in purchasing, a little bit in accounting, engineering, quality control, a little bit of production, and I also receive others in other remote warehouses. Success and winning awards my first year as Employee of the Year and a couple other awards I won. Favorite part is I know my job very well, so they don't have to look after me, and I do everything. If anything's needed, they just let me know, and then I do it.
The culture. I mean, it really is a great culture. Everybody's positive by nature. There is a motivated task for this company to succeed. I think, I know Alan Tracy and the leadership has created an atmosphere where everybody's accomplishing, everybody's going for the win. It's not a type of company where it's a drag to come to work, where you wake up each morning like, oh, I don't want to go to work. You know what? I've never felt that way. I've always felt motivated, on task, and it's an environment where everybody's taken care of. The leadership has done things for people that are unbeknownst to other people. If people are struggling in their personal life, I've heard things or seen things where they've stepped in to make that person's life a little easier and that type of thing. So that's a lot of things you're not going to see on a tour that they do day in and day out for the people here, and that speaks measures. That's unmeasurable.
So the Barron culture is probably one of the most highly guarded special things to me personally. I've been a part of the shaping of the culture since the day I set foot into this organization. And the nucleus of our culture has not changed. The nucleus of our culture is built around employees being safe mentally, knowing that they've got an ear that's going to listen to them, they've got a voice that we want to hear, and that everybody contributes equally here, right? We all walk in here as people that have a job to do for a common cause, and we pull that together, and that is the foundation for the Barron culture. So watching how we took what was a very simple approach to that way back when and continue to add to the elements that the culture now delivers, which is very, very special, where people have much more available to them, and the company meets. Actually, I have a committee that we meet once a week specifically on the culture of this company. And we talk about everything from how we can improve 401k contributions all the way down to, do we need to paint a wall because someone doesn't like a color necessarily and it's throwing people off? I know that's kind of an odd scenario, but we try to talk about everything as it relates to the employee experience as we want it to be for Barron. They are absolutely the most important ingredient in our recipe, and the culture is what gives them the stability behind the recipe. So that is very, very high on my list of priorities, and it's where I spend a lot of my time with the executives, continuing to shape and improve and do whatever is necessary to give our employees, again, that safe place to be.
My name is Henry Lozano. Since I started at Barron, I started as an engineer and then moved into engineering management. Actually, I've spent the last 14 years as an engineering manager here, so I spent a year as an engineer. What made me apply for a job at Barron was I was in the aviation sector, a large corporation, and I really wanted to have a different feel to working for a company. So my entire previous career was in aviation, and I wanted something a little bit smaller, a little bit more hands-on. I felt that the bigger sectors, you always have so many red flags or processes that you have to do, and I want to be more integral into the design and development of products. So I found Barron and kind of just went in that direction into lighting. One of the things that I'm proud about of this company or being a part of is that the owners have always made it an effort to make you feel stable in the position you are. You know, they always give you the opportunity to grow within the company, move up, the stability, the support if you need it. So they're always willing to help alleviate some of that burden from life when you're at work. Okay, my most memorable part of being at Barron, I think, is at our old building. And I remember, and I relate it to where I was, and I was in a large corporation and that just small company feel. And, I walked upstairs and there's a drum set, and people would be playing the drums, Keith would play the drums, and you see that different environment of being so small of a company, family owned, where there's just so much more interaction than being so stiff and rigid. So I think those are all my memories being here, is all those different type of activities or just things that you observe and see. So I think those are my biggest ones.
El trato familiar que que sentí yo desde el primer día. Eso. Y como dijo Ofelia, pues que todo el tiempo se siente apoyo de los dueños. Eso es lo que me hace sentir muy orgullosa de trabajar aquí.
Que el apoyo de ellos, que tenemos trabajo seguro, que podemos contar con ellos cuando lo necesitamos.
I'd sum up the work-life balance here at Barron in one word: flexible. We're super flexible. If you need to take care of something, we'll adjust. If you need to come in early, leave late, hey, the repairman's gonna be at your house, we can make it happen for you. We work with everybody. We want you to be happy and your family to be happy as you work here. So we try to be as flexible as possible so that we're still getting the work done that needs to get done, but you're still able to do everything you need to do and take care of everything that you need to do that isn't necessarily in this building, so in your personal life as well.
I think my favorite part is working with the people that I work with. We get along good, we communicate, everyone helps each other out. There's no one just telling nobody what to do. If there's something to be done, somebody will go and pick it up and do it. There's nobody just letting other people carry the weight. Everyone works together, and that's what I like. I like when people work together.
My name is Keith Wall, and I started off as order entry here at Barron Lighting, and eventually moved my way up into IT. I started working at Barron in 2003. I had just graduated college in Illinois and knew I wanted to live in Arizona. And at the time, nobody would be hiring anyone from out of state. So I moved to Arizona so I could look for a job in Arizona. And I found Barron through phoenixjobbing.com at that time. They needed an order entry person and I thought it was a computer job. Here's my chance to get in the door somewhere. And I've been here ever since. Ever since I've been here, the company has continued to grow. Every year we've made more and more money. And every year we've had new months in the top 10 of our sales. So the company has continued to grow. We're doing something right, and I think that's great.
My name is Susana Guardiola, and I start an assembling line. Now on a production line. I do the wave machine before. I'm everywhere. Well, I start in July 27, 1997, when the company started in Arizona, and I worked 11 years, and then I have to do something outside, and then I returned 3 years later. Now I had 13 years. My favorite role, you say? I learn in all the lines. That's what I like. Because before I do it only at the exit sign. Now I'm everywhere. And I can show or teach to the new people. That's what I like. Because I like my job. I like what I'm doing. That's why I'm here for a long time. The best part, you know why? I think is I don't know, I can say, okay, right? The way Alan and Lou treat like family, that's the best thing.
So probably the most surprising part of this journey has been our capacity for growth and our capacity for expansion. And that really is 100% attributable to the team in this building. Over all of the things that I've described and the different trials and tribulations and challenges that our customers brought, one of the most amazing and surprising things is how we would be able to get into a room and literally problem solve together and make it feel effortless, because the buildup is overwhelming. The buildup for me was very stressful to think of these things that we had to do. And again, the moment for me and the surprise, if you will, was just watching our team work, just watching the different teams come together, offer solutions, and God, think way outside the box, think of things that I wasn't even thinking of, and say, what about this? And then watch that all just evolve and come together for something that was nothing more than an idea or a challenge. But the capacity side was a big issue for us. So when I say it was the capacity for growth, as small company was Barron, as I described, moving through the world of lighting now, everything was new. So everything was a surprise, but it was an enjoyment for me and something very special in my heart that will remain forever on how that team, our team, continues to take whatever's thrown at them, overcome the obstacle, offer a solution, whatever those things might be. That by far has probably been the most rewarding surprise that I've had in this business.
My name is Jorge Hernandez, and I've done various jobs actually. So I started back in 2009 as a shipping clerk, did that for a couple of years, did receiving as well. also transitioned into a new role that was implemented back in the day as a inventory specialist before I came into customer service, did sales, planning, and now purchasing. So I've been all over the industry. Yeah, spectrum, there you go. Some of the details about my role are working very closely to sales still, so I'm very familiar with that process. And just working in all these various departments have dramatically helped me in the current position where I'm at now, with lead times, part numbers, weights, dimensions, also working with logistics, Angel, and configuring out exactly freight costs and whatnot. One of the most memorable days working here, this definitely has to be the day where I got locked into the facility. This was pre-COVID, and it was before we had that nice evenly work-life balance. Don't remember exactly the reason why I was working late, but it was after hours. I put on my headphones because I just wanted to concentrate, focus. The lights were all on. Excuse me. So I noticed after a few hours working, I was like, oh man, I'm making a dent in my email. I decided to stand up out of my cubicle and look around. Or I noticed the lights were on, so I was like, okay, that's, somebody's gotta be here. So I walked around, noticed that nobody was in the cubicles, so I walked around the offices, started to realize that there was no management in the facility either. So I was like, I think I might have been locked in here. So I walk over to the employee entrance, and then before I even open up the door, I noticed that the alarm said armed. So at that moment, I was like, crud. What do? I don't want to set off the alarm. So I called Christina, and then she starts laughing instead of giving me a solution right away. But she obviously called Alan. Alan told her, it's like, hey, you know what? Just have Jorge go upstairs, grab a beer, make himself comfortable. We'll call somebody to unlock the doors for him and, set the alarm again. So I was like, you know what? If Alan said to grab a beer, why not? So I walked upstairs, opened up the fridge, made a few Snapchat videos, and called Jocelyn, a worker that used to work here too. And instead of helping, she came over here, parked outside, recorded me, and just laughed. Luckily, it didn't take too long. Obviously, there's Netflix upstairs, there's the TV, there's food, snacks, beer. So it wasn't too scary to be locked in. I think it only was for a matter of 30 minutes total. So definitely very memorable.
My name is Kevin Hart. I started out as a lab technician, and now I'm the lab supervisor. I'd say my favorite part of my role is just being so involved in all the day-to-day and seeing all the new products come through the lab and all the new exciting technology that we have coming down. I would say my biggest accomplishment since I've been at Barron is setting up the lab and making it become what it's been today. When I first started at Barron, we were new to the building, so the lab was new, so I was able to build it up from the ground up. I'd say my most memorable day is when I received my Employee of the Quarter. It was just great to know that my peers could see that I do a good job and to be recognized for that.
My name is Martin Strong. Started in technical support RMA and moved up to technical support manager. So the favorite part of my role actually is my team. Working with them is just amazing. They're all very talented. They're sponges. They learn so easily. And I have most definitely the most combined experience within this team at Barron as a whole. The best part of working at Barron is the culture. It's a very free, open environment. Everybody's very relaxed, positive, good mood, good vibes. You don't get a lot of angry finger pointers or aggressors around this place, whether it's in the office, the warehouse, production floor. You just don't see it. And that's one of the reasons I'm still here, is I've never worked for a place that's so positive. 7 years in, I still come in the door and it's still a great group of people to be around.
Pamela Dunphy. I've been account sales, and I am also the SLP product manager. 2006, I just decided to make a change due to 25 years in the electrical industry. I just tried to get out of that industry for a while. What makes me proud at Barron, we are actually considered a smaller company. So we have the ability to do a large amount of problem solving for the customers that the large manufacturers will not. So we, on a daily basis, we are given an opportunity to, here, I have this opportunity. What do you think you could do for me? What can you fill in for us? And we have the ability to use a product that we already have, or actually we can go and design one for them and work that forward for that customer. My favorite part of this job is actually the design aspect of everything. I love looking at the blueprints. I love figuring out a problem for people and solving it for them, and eventually them purchasing it and installing it, and we get to see pictures. So that's probably my favorite part of it. And basically the team that I work with ensues that we can just follow that through all the way through for the customer.
My name is Jessica Zamporowski, and I'm Director of Human Resources. My favorite part of my role, obviously, is my coworkers. Honestly, the people are the most valuable part of any company. I would say my favorite part of my team is their viewpoint of how the company is run and how important being good to everyone is. Our culture, I don't believe, has really changed from the start of Lou Goldman, who was our founder, through Alan, who's been here from the very beginning. He has really kept it the way that it has been. So I feel like our company is straight out of the 1950s, if you will. I mean, we still hand out turkey money. We still do holiday parties and get together for employee events and play games. It really is a very tight-knit group. It's a very intimate atmosphere, which you really don't see anymore these days. So for me, I feel like the culture has still stayed, and that's a very important mission or goal, if you will, for Alan Tracy, our owner, and the rest of the executive leadership team. At our 60th anniversary, I really hope to see Barron grow exponentially. I hope that we have more employees to share our great culture with, and I hope that obviously our customer base grows.
So whereas we don't know what the future holds, I am extremely confident and extremely blessed that the team we have can handle any one of those challenges and adapt and shape this organization into whatever we feel needs to be done on behalf of our customers. If I could snap my finger and buy airline tickets for every single employee and jump on a plane tonight to go somewhere, I would love to take them to Barcelona, Spain. Barcelona is and offers a lot of the same attributes that I feel make up this company, and that is diversity, excitement, fun, just a melting pot of people that love to come together and celebrate a win when they have a celebration, and just enjoyment. And that is really what keeps me going every day, is the ability to watch this enjoyment. So my answer to that would be Barcelona, Spain, because I think that this team would fit in very, very well through the streets of Barcelona.